heel. She's an S9. In behind her with the guide who will hold the pole. Oh no, she won't. She hands it over to Mr. Francis, her high performance coach. That's Mary Fisher in lane number 5. She's representing Tawa. That's East Day Swimming in Auckland. Sophie Pascoe will swim in lane 4, and Nikita Howarth of Te Awa Mutu, herself also a Paralympian. So 3 of these 4 have been to the Paralympics.
And John, three out of the 4, and that is Nikita Howarth, Sophie Pascoe and Mary Fisher this morning in the heats, all went under the nomination time in their respective categories. So fantastic effort for all 3. But of course, they'll be keyed up to actually go better here tonight.
They've got to continue to push their case, don't they, all the way through?
Yes, there's no guarantee you can go under the nomination time. I think New Zealand's guaranteed for 7 slots.
Nikita Howarth is an S7. That means she has the biggest disability of all the 4 swimmers. S9 is Olivia Hay. And as you move up the higher the numbers, the perceived, to me it looks like perceived lesser disability. That Pascoe is an S10, and Mary Fisher, visually impaired, is an S11.
You look at the rhythm that Sophie Pascoe holds in this butterfly when you don't obviously get the benefit of the second kick or the second leg. She just is such a beautifully balanced swimmer when you consider that she doesn't have access or use of that left leg at all, other than, I guess, down to the femur.
And Mary Fisher just getting caught up in the lane there as she came out of the turn, and Mark's mentioned that previously about how with being visually impaired, she's constantly relying on a sense that keeps her away from it. That's her so close to that lane with her right shoulder now, but that's where she'll swim. We saw her previously in one other backstroke event sort of drift right across to the other side, just losing that sensitivity momentarily in a race. Pascoe, though, takes it to the wall now at the halfway stage and goes into the breaststroke.
John, interestingly, that when you're coaching a lot of swimmers, when you're doing what we call field work, you actually get them to swim with their eyes shut. You get them to close their eyes and you get them just to keep an eye or feel for the water with their hands. And it's amazing how crooked swimmers go. Now, you've got to think about that with Mary Fisher. She does and spends her whole life with her eyes shut, going up and down the pool in every training session. Some swimmers can't do it for more than 10 metres before hitting the lane line.
Well, this is a fine swim too, from Pascoe, obviously, but when we go back, we'll see that Nikita Howarth is really having a fantastic middle stage of this event. She's moved up alongside Fisher as we watch, and Pascoe touches into the freestyle now.
John, I must say 151.90 for Sophie Pascoe is a fantastic 150-metre swim. So she's got 50 metres or 30 metres still to go now, but that's a very good split at the 150-metre mark.
Well, her target time was, what, 2:38. 2:38.
Yeah. But she's a 2:31 from the heats this morning. She's probably going to go about a 2:27, 2:28 tonight.
Right, Nikita Howarth as an S7, she's looking at a 3:23.89, so she'll go well under that. And Mary Fisher looking for a 3:17. They'll all go well underneath it. And here again was Pascoe finishing, and look at this nice battle between Nikita Howarth and Mary Fisher for second in this race.
Because Mary Fisher won't have any idea where the rest of the opposition is. She's just going for it.
Yep. She knows that at the end of the swimmers coming up, she'll receive the touch right now. And those 2 strokes to go. Into the wall she swims. Nikita Howarth will finish in 3rd place. And Olivia Hay is in the pool swimming in lane 6. Just 15 years of age, so another of those who's emerging. And here she comes to the wall now. So Olivia Hay. And her time 3:11.14. We'll see a lot more of Olivia Hay at the Para Championships. Sophie Pascoe at 2:26, Mary Fisher at 2:54, Nikita Howarth 2:57. I think that's right. They've all gone
well under,
under their nomination times as we watch the start again.
And all faster than what they swam this morning in the heats. But as I said earlier on, I mean, just fantastic effort by Sophie Pascoe. Just talking about Mary Fisher, every one of her strokes, she will be, and there she goes, hits the lane line, she comes out. Every one of her lengths, she will know how many strokes she swims per length in all of her 4 disciplines. And if you have a look at Mary Fisher in the finish, she was just holding her breath. She knows how many strokes she has to go. But this is Sophie Pascoe A beautiful swim. 2:56, a really good swim.
Well, we looked earlier on at the start of the show at the 7 names of those who've reached the nomination standard. 3 of those competed just now, and prior to that, Hamish McLean as well. So that's 4 of those who've or had already bettered the nomination standards. Now, that, as we've mentioned previously, but we reiterate, that doesn't guarantee them a position at Rio for the Paralympics. There's still more selection processes to go through as then they determine that eventual team. So
my understanding is that they've got 5 female slots and 2 male slots.
Yeah. So 3 of those females bettering the nomination time were in this particular race, and hopefully one of those who will be going to Rio, where she doesn't know about it yet, but she's been to Paralympics before and World Championships. It's Mary Fisher, and she's with Ian Jones.
Yep, thanks very much, John. Congratulations, Mary. I know you're in real tough training at the moment, but look really controlled and you're right on form.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a great race. It's just been a good week overall to see so many great performances and to have just heaps of swimmers go under the Paralympic qualifying times, and then some really, really awesome swimming from just everyone here.
Now, Mary, explain to us, because just off camera, you're a blind athlete swimming out there, but you also had to get your goggles checked.
So I swim in a category where we're all totally blind. Some swimmers can see light and dark though, like me, and some can't. So we all wear these blacked out goggles just to make sure that it's totally even. And after every race, the results aren't official until the officials check that there's no light at all coming in. So it's like this couple of minutes where I have no idea what time I've done and where I'm in comparison to everything. So that's the only thing that we do differently.
Well done. Rob Waddell, the chef de mission's here, so maybe we can get some nice silver ferns put in those for Rio.
Thanks. It's been a great week, and the support from everyone's been amazing.
Thank you, Mary Fisher.
Another outstanding swim from Mary Fisher and Sophie Pascoe and Nikita Howarth and Olivia Hay there. The 200 metres individual medley for women. And we're heading off to a break. Then we'll be back with the 100 fly for both men and women, and then the 4x100 freestyle relays. Well, we've had a lot of races tonight, and the medal ceremonies are being held at the break area. And the first of gold, of course, going to Lauren Boyle, who bettered the qualifying standard yet again in the 400 metres freestyle this time. Bradley Ashby, a stunning performance in the men's 200 metres individual medley, but in between that we've had two para swims as well. Brian McPherson there, she's got a wonderful attitude, and three of our very good para swimmers, and they have received their medals along with others to generous support from the crowd here. Peter Fitzinger, a well-known sports name, particularly around the Auckland area. Let's hear from him now before we get into the next of the races.
Okay, here with Peter Fitzinger from High Performance Sport New Zealand. And Peter, for your organisation, trials like this is what it's all about.
Absolutely. It's about the 4-year journey. It's about athletes qualifying for the Olympics and the Paralympic Games. And it's great to be here tonight. It's great to see athletes who've already qualified, and hopefully a few more will get across the line.
You're a former Olympian yourself. Alex Bowman, the head of High Performance Sport, is a former Olympian himself, a swimmer. Expectations of going that event, the pinnacle for all athletes, what is it like?
Well, New Zealand won 13 medals in London, and it's tracking for 14 or more medals in Rio later this year. It's about each athlete being ready on the day, putting that 4 years of hard work to good use.
These swimmers here who have to produce it on a night during the heats of the finals, how much more pressure is it on them as athletes?
Yeah, well, it's great to see. The Olympics is about doing it on one day. So if you give people a lot of opportunities, you don't want to know that they can really deliver when they have to. So this is the perfect way to do it. One day, it's do or die.
From high performance sport point of view at the moment, we have 3 athletes going to Rio. How do you see swimming tracking?
So swimming's tracking really well. It's great to have Lauren. She's the leader of the team. It's great to have the wonderful Paralympic swimmers. We had Sophie and we had Mary swim just a little while ago, and so many more up-and-comers as well.
Well, thanks very much for your time, and all the best in Rio.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Encouraging there that 14 medals, golds targeted for Rio, one more than London. And amongst these swimmers here tonight, well, we wonder if more than Lauren Boyle will emerge as a medal contender. And we've seen tonight a couple of really impressive swims, and there are clearly some who are on the improve. And remember, they have still got a big workload to go before they taper and are ready for Rio, so we see more improvement. Look at the 100 butterfly final. Former Olympian there, Andy McMillan, swimming in lane 3. Now 30 years of age. Also went to a couple of Commonwealth Games in 06 and 10. But in lane 4, Chris Dawson of Enterprise. He's the fastest qualifier from Gisborne, 54.07 today. Bradley Ashby.
The man of the night, isn't he?
Wow. He's the title holder for this too, the 100 fly. Qualifying time in the 200 IM and a New Zealand record. Been a big night for him.
Well, he's either going to absolutely go for it, the adrenaline is just going to carry him through.
Right. Or the opposite.
Yep. You wonder, did he warm down properly after that fantastic 200 medley? Well, we'll know pretty soon. The winner of the 200 butterfly is in lane 7, Sean Burnett. Such a fast finisher in that 200 fly.
Way up at the top, one of the up-and-comers too, 16-year-old Satori Dobby. Isaac Foot is in lane 1. We come back into lane 2 where Bradley Ashby is certainly not hanging about. He's in the red cap. You can just see him up towards the top there in the centre. It's Dawson. Paul Benson not far away in lane 6 from Heratonga Sun Devils.
Well, I like the way that McMillan is in there and Bradley Ashby in there as well. Bradley Ashby, I think it's his turn first night, is Dawson, 24.98. Now that's a good split. He went 25 low this morning, so he's gone slightly faster, but this is where it's really going to hit with 25 metres still to swim. Lane number 6 is Paul Benson doing a great job.
Look at that line. That's getting everyone excited. The 100 metres butterfly, that line just picks up speed. I reckon someone pushes the accelerator as they come to the wall now. Chris Dawson hangs on to win. Benson just faded slightly as Willie Coetzee came through in lane number 5. But and Andy McMillan also finishing strongly, the veteran in lane 3. Men's 100 fly. It was close for second and third. And taken by Andrew McMillan. In fact, 54.05 for Andy McMillan. Coetzee finishing third. Ashby fourth. Paul Benson fourth equal. Off the blocks. We saw that very good start from Ashby, who's had such a big night now. The red cap way up towards the top. But then in the centre, it was Dawson touching first at the 50. Nice turn from Dawson too.
Fantastic turn. He's always been very, very good with the finesse side of things. You see, just kept the head down, drove into the wall very powerfully. A good swim and a good victory, good national title for him.
Andy McMillan second, and New Zealand record stays there at 51.61 by one of our best ever, Corne Swanepoel. We have a B final as well.
He was so outstanding, Corne Swanepoel. Just never went on at the international scene, but his New Zealand records were phenomenally good. He was so well ranked.
The Neptune cap on there, that's Jeremy Tasker. Lane 4. Oh, nice shot of him exploding off the blocks, and he did so very well too. Last one to come up out of the water, and to his right is David van der Star of Coast. William Campbell is with him, and Winter Heaven, the Samoan swimmer in lane 6.
Well, Tasker was definitely under the water the longest, but I think it was to his detriment because he doesn't have the finesse underwater. He didn't continue to accelerate. It is faster underwater if you can use it, but it is David van der Star that turns first, 26.44, looking very strong. Not a great turn, though, and now coming very strongly in lane number 5 is the 20-year-old from Wharenui, William Campbell.
Yes, in the red cap and looking very good indeed. The Samoan Heaven is just to his right, but not going to win this one. In the centre, it is Campbell coming back. Campbell and Tasker. Tasker just in front. It'll be the touch that counts. He goes in, gets it just ahead of Campbell. Heaven is in third place, and so third place will go to who was fourth. Got to work out who was fourth to see who picks up the third place, because it won't go to the visitor. Winter Heaven, in fact, is third equal with David van der Star. So van der Star will take the bronze medal. Good victory for Tasker over William Campbell.
Interesting, Tasker was very, very good over the first 50. Hit the wall first. Not a great start. He was under the water for a long time, but I don't think he got the benefit out of that. But have a look, he touched first, but it was a slow turn on him, and he came out in about third or fourth position, but then drove back extremely well over the last 25 metres to take out the B final.
So he touches first ahead of Campbell. Heaven equal with van der Star. Heaven, in fact, from the Utah University, and has trained a couple of years up north, up in Whangarei. Now back in Utah and aiming to qualify for the Samoan team. He's been to the World Championships before and holds a few Samoan national records. So the men's 100 fly B final has gone. And is this going to be another highlight tonight? We don't want to build it up. We've lost ourselves a couple of times, haven't we?
John, to be fair, it has to be a highlight because Helena Gass, I mean, she showed, as we said earlier, a lot of fortitude to come back off her disappointment in the 200 butterfly. And she needs to do this for her own credibility. Come back, and she's had a fantastic swim this morning to qualify for the Olympic Games. And we want to see her do it again in this final. Just relax, Helena. I'm sure that she can do it. In the 200 final, she just was tense.
Stunning record this morning. New Zealand record, 58.66, which is inside the qualifying time. So all that pressure's gone off her. But as she saw what Bradley Ashby did, here's Samantha Lee, who was
first in
gold
the
medalist in the 200 fly.
Yep. Second in the 200 free, so she's having a good meet.
And lane 6, we'll see Paige Chandler Kemp. And now, as she swam a huge relay leg last night
for the Howick Pakuranga Club, and she brought them into the lead at the end of her butterfly leg.
So, you know, I'd expect on that form that she'll be amongst it. Emma Beth Jensen in lane 3. Well, that's a very good start, I thought, from Helena Gasson in lane 4. She comes out strongly. Remember, she is the national record holder, and she is under the qualifying time already in the heats. Now she wants to cement that position, to reinforce her ability here to back up with a big swim, and she's doing it well alongside her Samantha Lee.
Well, Samantha Lee just doesn't have the speed to go with her. 27.7 this morning, and she turns 27.41. So she's gone down the first 50 metres faster. She looked a little bit short in her stroking, and now this is the time to hold it together, hold the stroke length. Helena Gasson, 27.4 in the first 50 metres. Let's bring her home.
Yeah, 25 to go. Gasson holds off the fast finishing Lee. Gasson, what an effort this morning over the disappointment of the 200. She's now looking at that qualifying time again. Look at that. She's going to touch. She does it again. 58.51. New Zealand record again. What a double up from her. She can smile as much as she likes, and we love that smile. Rio bound, Helena Gasson. Emphatic swim tonight.
Oh, credit to Helena Gasson, a fantastic effort to come back once again, like we saw earlier on in the 200 medley from Bradley Ashby, to be able to do a New Zealand record in the heats and then come back and better it in the final. All credit to her and her coach, Thomas Ansell. Great job.
Confirmed at 58.51 this morning. She did 58.71, so that's a great bite into that time from this morning. And absolutely hammered now the old record. So brilliant.
Yeah, nice start on her. I was a little bit nervous. I thought she'd gone out a little bit too hard. Big breath on the turn, but she held it together in the last 25 metres. I mean, Lee was fast finishing, but Gasson just held it together superbly.
Well, there'll be a lot of butterfly experts around looking at her form, and this has been really a highlight night tonight, a highlight day, because we've seen two young swimmers step up and create qualifying times in the heats and then go faster in the finals, and one of those is Helena Gasson, who's with Ian Jones.
Thanks very much, John. Helena, we are so proud of you. It's been a tough week for you. I know you're disappointed on Monday, but to fight back the way you did today, qualify this morning, you broke it again, a New Zealand record. You must be so pleased with yourself and your training.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm very emotional right now, but I'm just so glad that I could come back after Monday.
But Helena, what a wonderful story for so many people out there, from Miranda, Thames Swim Club, Fairfield, now with North Shore. You can make it anywhere in this country.
Yeah, it's truly possible. You don't really need to go anywhere else. You just got to believe in yourself.
And what about your crew, your coach Thomas, the North Shore team were behind you? Must be nice to have that support as well.
Yeah, I love the team that I'm in right now, and my coach. It's definitely the best place for me.
Well, congratulations, Helena Gasson. You are off to Rio. We are so proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I remember reading a story about her, I think it was last year or the year before, where she said her ambition was to make the Commonwealth Games team of 2018 and then hopefully the 2020 Olympics. Well, she's fast improving. She's bettered that ambition. She's now off to the Olympics in Rio.
Well, the great thing is that she holds the New Zealand record now, both in the 100 butterfly twice today and the 200 butterfly from the heats on day one. And that's got to be good for her too, just good for her confidence.
Well, for those people here tonight, and for those of you watching on Sky, this live coverage of the Olympic trials, national championships, it's been a highlight without doubt. We expected to see the likes of Lauren Boyle and Glenn Snyders and those experienced swimmers to get through and qualify, and Matt Stanley, of course. But to see the younger ones, one of whom, Bradley Ashby, had represented New Zealand last year, but Helena Gasson on the up and brings it out when it really matters.
Yeah, we said from day one we wanted to see newbies on the team, and we've got exactly that, because there's been a huge number that we've seen of retirements from the last Olympics and even from the last World Championships. Yeah. And so, the newbies had to step up and come through, and they are starting to do that.
Yes, we looked at that stat from the 2012 Olympics, and of the team of 17 that went away, only 4 are still competing. So that's a huge amount of experience gone out of that. And now the gaps are starting to be filled. And we come to the relays, the men's 4x100.
Well, it's just not just experience out of the team per se. It's actually experience out of training and experience out of racing, so that you don't have the same amount of numbers or experience of their racing as well.
See Daniel Hunter fronting up for his team and the Howick Pakuranga team in the men's relay 4x100.
So he'll be their anchor swimmer, but keep an eye on the swimmer in lane number 4, Ewan Jackson from the Howick Pakuranga Club. What a strong team this is going to be. This young man was just an outstanding 200 freestyle on day 1, where he came back so strongly to be in second position, but he nearly rolled the winner of that 200 metres freestyle, and Matt Stanley. Fantastic effort.
So we look at them as they across the pool. We've got Capital way up at the top. Howick Pakuranga, one of their teams. That's number 2 team. Then Neptune and then North Shore in front at the moment. Howick Pakuranga, number 1 team in lane 4.
Well, John, look at Ewan Jackson. Just look at how he increases his stroke rate. Look at the 6-beat kick and the bowways off the hip and then the bowways off the legs. Just a fantastic swimmer.
Jackson Crop finishes close to him and takes North Shore Swimming into second place. Finn Kennard Campbell is the second swimmer for them. Koenigsberger for Howick Pakuranga. They're 1 and 2, Howick Pakuranga and North Shore.
Well, Daniel Koenigsberger is a beautiful swimmer, a lovely breaststroker, and that's probably his strength, but he's also very, very fast over the sprint events. So he will continue to extend this lead for the Howick Pakuranga Club. What a team they're putting together.
Aren't they? Both men and women in relays. They're being very, very impressive indeed. The rest are, well, some are just starting to catch up a wee bit on North Shore. And way down, we mightn't quite be able to see them, but Aquablades, New Plymouth, through Julian Weir.
Julian Weir's just been dynamic over this second 100 metres, but it is just tying up. Koenigsberger just held it together only just into the third 100-metre swimmer in the water now. It is still Howick Pakuranga out in front with Joshua Asplin.
Well, the swimmer we just saw briefly at the bottom of the screen there was Troy Belwood from Aquablades New Plymouth. They turned third. You can see down here now to the right. So Aquablades in third place. Up at the top there, though, it's North Shore through Flynn Jones and Joshua Asplin from Howick Pakuranga. North Shore first, Howick Pakuranga and Aquablades New Plymouth. They're in third place.
What a fantastic turn it was by Joshua Asplin. Just rolled over the top of Flynn Jones, who had actually beaten him down the first 50 metres. But Flynn Jones, he's on fire. He was on fire in the 200 medley, but he's on fire again in this 100 freestyle. But boy, look at the anchor man for the Howick Pakuranga Club, Daniel Hunter.
Great finish here, Jones and Asplin. They go together. Asplin hands over to Hunter. Who's going to peg him back? Nobody.